and it's week 7 of the NCAA football season coming up. I cannot believe it's the 7th week already. That's
flying by.
It is flying by.
Yeah.
Seen some exciting football so far.
But there's still a lot of season left to make up some ground that we've lost with our picks.
Yeah, I'm the worst picker ever. So
over there.
That's just a fact.
This is you know how they have rivalry week and all that. Yeah. This has to be make up ground week.
Make up ground week.
Yeah,
I like it.
Doesn't have a ring to it at all. Actually, it sucks.
Next week we're just gonna go ahead and pull out the dartboard if we
next
start
week is going to be. Yes, it's going to be dartboard week.
We're gonna randomly pick your viewer picks.
That's scary. That's the new low that we've dropped. So we're busting out the throwing darts for the picks.
That's still possible with just a couple of good weeks to get back to 500 on the season.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know,
a couple of really good weeks. See what you got.
You gotta get hot. You gotta change momentum in your favor somehow.
Well, what do you got this week?
What do we got?
Okay, I'm gonna start this Syracuse game. Pitt Syracuse. At Syracuse. I'm gonna take the number under 44. Might not seem like a very popular play, but I'm just not impressed. I've seen Pittsburgh play a couple times this year. Not impressed at all with their quarterback play.
No,
I think they really struggle at quarterback from a decision-making standpoint. The turnovers, their defense is still solid. The two highs in scoring this year for Pitt, 44 and 38, but those were against New Hampshire and Flint.
Florida International.
Flint.
Still though.
Flint College.
They're nobodies.
Right.
Is that a real college?
No, I don't know. It could be.
I'm sure. Someone called Flint, Michigan, and asked what they have a college.
I don't think so. Who knows?
They do have the Hawaiian Tropics.
And then they do.
Tropics.
Yeah. You look at Syracuse, 42 against Colgate, 38 against Maine. Not impressed. 29 at Akron is decent.
You saw the Syracuse USF game.
I mean, it was just all defense.
It was not pretty.
13 against USF. 20 at Washington. At home, they do score a little bit, but they haven't played at home against a defense that will equal Pittsburgh's defense. That's for sure.
Close.
So, I like the under 44. I'm going with that. Again, doesn't work.
I like that one.
Darts. And then I'm going another pick. This isn't just for fun pick because at this point, why the hell not, right? The over in the Nevada-Hawaii game. It's the late game. There will be nothing else on. Why not root and cheer for the over in the Nevada-Hawaii game at 73.5? Or a bazillion, as I like to call it.
It might as well be.
It's going to be an exciting game.
It is going to be an exciting game. That is going to be a high-flying offensive game.
Yeah, that's just one of those games. Well, we went down by 21 in the first quarter. So it's all right. We'll still get into the second one. We win this quarter, we're right back in it.
Yeah.
You know? That's the type of game that it's going to be.
Two great quarterbacks.
It's going to be fun to watch.
It is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
73.5 to watch.
The Hawaii offense, I think, has 2 wide receivers who are averaging like 100 yards a game.
I could see the final score of that being like
2,200 yards in 7 games, man.
I could see it being like a 45-42 final.
Yeah. I mean, you can cover that. I mean, you can
definitely. The game could be played in the 50s, right?
I could see that it could get annihilated. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
All right.
Again.
I mean, it's plausible. I mean, that's just a lot of points, man.
It's definitely not one of my worst picks.
No.
We talked you out of what would have been your worst pick.
I got South Carolina, too.
Yeah,
South Carolina giving up 5.5
against
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm not sure that I like that pick terribly too much, but Ohio State minus 4.5 against Wisconsin. I think that last couple weeks, Ohio State, they looked good last week. They're passing the ball a lot last week. This week, you're going to see a lot of the Terrell against a formidable opponent. They've been waiting. They don't want to risk injury or anything. They're waiting, just like Texas did with Vince Young. They're like, oh, we want you to run. We don't want you to run too much. They just don't want him to get injured. When it comes to the big games, though, you'll see Terrell Pryor tuck. When he tucks, just look out. There is no. I don't think there's a player once you get past front lines, defensive ends, and tackles. I don't think there's a player in college football that can tackle Terrell Pryor one-on-one. I don't think there's a linebacker or a defensive back out there that can handle him one-on-one in the open field, period.
Huh. All right.
Probably not.
So I think this being one of those games, I think they really unleash Pryor. We'll see.
I could see the upset happening in that game.
I can see.
That's the upset alert right there.
I can see Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is a very tough place to go in.
It is. John Clay is a tough runner, man, and he just wears out defenses.
Well,
don't come out of another one.
You're definitely not talking me out of this one.
Okay,
I've been on the Terrell Pryor bandwagon all year.
Yes, yeah.
All year.
Yeah.
And I think that if Ohio State runs the table and they come into a national championship game, they have a chance to win it all because they have Terrell Pryor. I think if they use him sparingly in that running role throughout the course of the season and then just let him loose in a big ball game like that, I think that he can really turn people on their heads. Yeah. But I think he's better than what people really can expect. He's just as big as Vince Young, and he's just as fast. He's every bit as good. He's every bit as capable. If you can get something creative going with him on the offense, I don't think he can be stopped at the college level. I really don't. He's too good of an athlete. Of course, that's all been said before.
This is the week that he passes Denard Robinson in the Heisman race. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's definitely a more formidable physical presence than Denard Robinson. Definitely, if you're looking across the line, you're definitely more scared of Terrell Pryor. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So you have South Carolina.
Yes, I got the over. I'm just going to start going with the Minnesota and the Minnesota over. Purdue, Minnesota, the over. Go with that. 51.5.
51.5.
The over, huh?
Oh yeah, Minnesota's
dismal.
Minnesota doesn't play any D at all.
They don't play any D. Over 51.5 against Purdue. But Minnesota can put points up on the board against anybody.
They can do that.
So
they're a very bad team.
They are a very bad team.
Really bad.
They are. Yeah.
But I like those.
And that's it.
That's it. So
that's all.
Running back.
South Carolina minus 5.5. The over, and what will be the game of the week? I think it's the game of the week. Nevada, Hawaii. The under in the Pitt-Syracuse game at 44. The over in the Purdue-Minnesota game at 51.5. And Ohio State giving up 4.5 from Terrell Pryor. Really handing it to him. I do like John Clay also, but he's not the type of runner, to me, that he'll get his against Ohio State because Wisconsin's front line is very physical and they will be able to do what they do to a certain extent, but they're not going to get any big plays. You're not just going to consistently run up the gut for 7 here, 8 there for 4 quarters against Ohio State. You might do that for a couple drives and get some points, but you're not going to wear them down. Eventually, Ohio State's going to make some plays on you and stop some of those drives.
I think I just have.
And John Clay's not going to get to the outside. He's not that type of runner.
But by the fourth quarter, Ohio State's defense is going to be stuck and win if they're on that field. As long as Wisconsin plans to keep them on that field, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to play possession. They're going to play ball control, and they're going to try to keep that defense on the field. When that happens in the fourth quarter, John Clay takes over and starts getting 6, 7 up the middle. Because they, like you said, they are such a physical team up front. They have such a big offensive line.
They might need to score. They might need to score an awful lot of points to stick with Ohio State this weekend. Trust me, don't be fooled by that game against Illinois. I watched that game. Jim Tressel said, we outmatched this Illinois team, and I'm going to choose the way that we are going to beat them. And the way that I choose for us to beat them is to go in there and pound the rock and just exhaust any hope of them winning. Without having to without having to be up by more than 10 or so points, they can control the game.
30 seconds.
Just that way. Don't be fooled by that game. Jim Tressel, that was a state. He was making a statement by playing that style.
All right.